DVD burners have officially hit the mainstream. 8X burners for under $200, in many cases under $150. Here with some of the best out there, best available DVD burners, TechTV Labs tech analyst Robert Heron. Welcome back to the Screensavers.
Hey, thank you.
And we should point out, you should not light your 8X media on fire with lighter fluid.
Or if you do, don't try to put it back in the drive.
Definitely do not. So now that we've taken care of that, 8X media actually is kind of a serious concern. You probably have the largest pile of 8X media outside of a warehouse.
It's starting to show up in stores now. The Dash R format, of the two formats, your Plus R and your Dash R, the Dash R is taking a little longer to actually make it into stores. So you're going to see the Plus R format hit 8X first, followed by even faster speeds by the summer.
And this is amazing. We should point out, like, media is finally becoming available. 8X drives have been around, but it's been almost impossible to buy media. Last time you were on talking about DVD burners, 4X. 4X.
For around 300 rewritable, 4X.
Let's do the run-through.
Twice the speed.
Plextor PX708A.
An example of a 40X CD burner on top of being an 8X DVD burner. Unfortunately, some of the media we had, it just didn't really work out. It's the case of being a new drive with new media that hasn't been certified for this drive, and they haven't updated the firmware to support that yet.
So that's something they can probably fix in firmware?
Definitely. Oh, definitely. That is really, for all the new drives, we applied the latest firmware because of that, because of it adds more support for more brands of blank media.
Up next, the shortest drive in the roundup.
Yeah, and
Light-on LDW.
Comparatively, you can see it's about an inch shorter than your typical DVD drive, and that's really nice for small systems, like if you're shuttle boxes or whatever, if you're putting one together. Awesome. Inexpensive. The least expensive drive we have looked at burns at 40X CD as well, but it only burns at 4X for the Dash R format. So as a true 8X burner, not quite there yet.
LG Electronics?
LG, our winner last time around, makers of one of the quietest drives and the only one that supports, in this roundup, RAM format. So if you're a RAM user, which is like a big zip disk on steroids, yeah, this drive actually supports it. They increased the write speeds to 8X for both formats for DVD, but the CD speed they left at 24X, and that's really what kind of killed it in terms of a good all-in-one drive.
Pioneer.
The originators of your Dash R format, they are back with a new drive that supports 8X for both formats.
Very
awesome. Cool. For CD audio extraction, CD burning too, there was a little disappointment just in the terms of burning because it's a 24X burner. Didn't really keep up with some of the other drives out there that we were looking at. But otherwise, solid, dependable.
But TDK didn't want to send us an internal drive, so the external version of the TDK.
They love their external burner, and that is the actually the first 8X dual burner I've seen externally. USB 2 FireWire, almost perfectly silent because it's in that enclosure.
Very nice.
It is awesome in terms of just being able to plug it in and use it.
Your favorite DVD burner right now?
Sony surprised me this year. They lowered the prices a lot.
$141.
Yeah, retail box, and that's average of what I found online. It supports, the latest firmware supports now 8X for both the DVD formats, as well as 40X for CD, and that's the only drive sitting up here that does that.
Very nice. The prices of these are so incredibly cheap. Are any of them including any DVD mastering software, any CD burning software?
If you get the retail box, they all come with software related to that. And on top of that, you also get some DVD video authoring software for making movies and things like that. Of course, for our testing, we use Nero 6 Ultra for analyzing the drives and testing performance for CD and DVD burning. And then we use Music Match for audio extraction tests.
Strangely enough, the biggest difference between the drives in terms of speed were the CDR burning tests.
That's definitely one of the big ones. The difference between when you start burning at 40X and beyond, you go back to 24X, it will seem really, really slow.
So and the shorter the bars, the better. Plextor actually did the best job here by a fairly healthy margin, like 15%.
40X. Light-on would have fell right between the Plextor and the Sony. Sony, as you can see, is pretty darn solid at 185 for, this is in seconds.
That's pretty fast.
Pioneer, and as you can see, we moved to the LG at 24X. Actually, the Pioneer must be a 32X burner. So the LG is a 24X burner, and that's why you're seeing the longer speeds.
The DVD burn results we're about to see are actually an amalgamation of a bunch of different tests.
This is for each format in Plus and Dash, the rewritable plus the writable, or write once, plus the rewritable formats. And we just basically took all four of those formats, added the scores together. This is what you get.
The two that aren't up there are actually the ones that did not burn.
Light-on and Plextor weren't able to burn at full speed with some of our blank media. And
that's for a DVD-R. W.
Exactly. No, for Dash R W.
The 4X Dash R W.
For the 4X formats, and it can get a little confusing.
In case you're confused when you're buying, don't feel bad. We do this for a living, and it gets confusing.
There's a bajillion formats, but what this basically says is that overall, with your DVD formats, Sony's drive it's in the world-class competition, and the fact that they lowered the price so much, $141 for a retail box, supports both formats, and it gives you 8X CD burning speeds, a black and white faceplate in the box,
Very nice.
That's
the Sony.
That's the Sony right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a word from Robert Heron, who's spent a lot of time in the labs testing these. Are they going to go to 16x next?
Coming up next, yeah. Philips already announced the 16x recorder. The dual layer recorders are coming this summer. That means they're going to start at about 8x. That means you have 8.5 gigs on a dual layer disc.
I like that.
Very nice. And Plextor has just announced an SATA 12x DVD burner, which should be here anytime now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Heron, TechTV Labs analyst extraordinaire. You can find his extensive test results on all these drives and all the information we talked about, and oh so much more at thescreensavers.com. Thanks, Robert.
Sure thing.